Hello, my name is X. Today I want to discuss music. Trolls only listen to one type of music. None. And they completely deprive themselves of all the bountiful melodies that music provides to us on a daily basis. When you listen to a song, you picture it in your mind, what many people call imagining it, and your mind wanders through the melodies, and when the song gets faster, so does your heart rate, influencing a better feel for the song and what you are imagining. When I looked on the Encyclopedia Dramatica website, what I saw was odd. They were downing all of the major song categories. This is one of the reasons why trolls hate people in general. They said, and this is a direct quote, "Music is the sound that comes out of your radio in between the commercials, that droning noise you hear in elevators and supermarkets, and the blips and bloops in the background of video games." Some people take this shit way too seriously, and most of them are fucking retards. The type of music they upload to their iPod often determines what kind of pussy they go for, what clothes they wear, who they're allowed to make friends with, and even how they speak. But let's be honest here, would you fuck a juggalo? End quote. As you can see, the trolls don't very much like music. And to prove this a fact, I will post direct quotes about some categories they talked about on their site. Classical music. Classical music is usually associated with that bullshit with way too many instruments, played by ass pies in tuxedos. While certainly the most popular form of classical music, instrumentals with violins and tubas aren't the only type. Opera is also quite popular among NPR-listening liberals and arrogant Harvard-educated elitists. Chorale music, also known as a cappella, is easily recognized due to its prominence at Christmas, in churches, and where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. End quote. Blues. Blues music started when ex-slaves' fingers healed up from all that pickin'. Quickly tiring of Moss's God songs, they decided to start using shitty homemade instruments to write songs about why being a nigger fucker sucks. Oddly enough, whenever blacks complain artistically, white people take the idea, water it down, and make millions. In the case of blues, rednecks had replaced champagne and reefer with bush beer and crystal meth, creating Zydeco. End quote. Electronic. Electronic, or techno, music started in the late 70s when a bunch of blissed out fags from Chicago started fucking with disco tape loops and turntables, just like the hip-hop kids. These guys had way better drugs though, and house came to be. While fans of this music will claim that the differences between electronic genres are vast, it is obviously a lie. Trance, drum and bass, happy hardcore and so on, are all just bass-heavy samples, with someone speaking ambiguously about God and sex over the track for raver candy asses to listen to while rolling in Ibiza. Gots listen to electronic called industrial, but if you've ever used power tools, you've heard what that sounds like. End quote. Emotional hardcore. Emo was born from the unholy union between hardcore metal and indie rock. It was originally short for emotional hardcore, which even the original bands thought was pussy, but has since then come to describe the fagot-obsessed culture of whiners coming out of the world's suburbs. Emo went from being a screamy punk genre, to being a faggy pop fad like shoegaze, to turning into a subculture, which conveniently came with its own store in the mall. While this subculture deserves all the hate thrown at it, emo has also become the catch-all phrase used by confounded jocks to describe any music played by a fashionable haircut. The whole thing is so fucking over the top on both sides, it's even got regular Joes like you and me depressed, and that's a problem. End quote. And this is what they think of ravers, and this is a direct quote. Ravers frequently raves, which are large drug-fueled parties where a hippie plays the same song for 6 hours. They are typically teenagers, twinks or sick fucks who prey on the youngins. Ravers enjoy listening to the house and techno music, taking copious amounts of drugs, most notably ecstasy, and dancing with glow sticks. It is without a doubt the most fun you can have without having sex. Or killing someone. Assuming you lack a soul. Whenever you go to a rave, don't expect to see any musical instruments at all. Turntables are not instruments either. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The only thing ravers listen to is electronic music, which everyone else calls techno. Never call it that though, as you'll have an hours-long argument on your hands as the raver will try to educate you on the intricate categories of electronic music. The general rule is that the worse the electronic music, the more likely you are to hear it at a rave. Even shithead and well-known wigger, Eminem, knows that raver music sucks. Since electronic music does not necessarily equate raver, the best way to troll a fan of any form of electronic music is to tell them it's raver music and ask them if they have any glow sticks or ecstasy on them, unless they actually are a raver, in which case they probably do. Be sure to ask them the differences between the various forms of electronic music, as there are over 9,000 and they will be sure to waste their time listing them all. End quote. Well, the trolls will never become accustomed to imagining great videos, like this video created by my friend Final Fantasy Fan 3000. Now this is a copyrighted video and it is copyrighted to Final Fantasy Fan 3000 respectively. I asked permission to use it in this video. Now, behold the power of imagination mixed with music.